Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you from the Right Horizons team. Thank you for joining in. As we are grandly celebrating our 75th year of independence and freedom, I would like to wish each one of you a very happy Independence Day in advance. And as we have progressed so much over these 75 years, it becomes essential for us as individuals also to aspire and achieve a stage of financial freedom. So that is why we have chosen a topic today: plan your financial freedom, starting this Independence Day. Just like we do New Year resolutions, so maybe we can look at starting or having a plan to move towards financial freedom as we are slowly progressing in our careers, in our achievements, and in our financial journey. So before we begin, I'd like to introduce you all to Right Horizons. So we have been in the financial advisory and consultancy services since the year 2003. We provide end-to-end wealth management solutions, right from financial planning, investment advisory, insurance, estate planning, and we have started family office services also. So we are a team of 50 plus employees, managing more than 2,000 crores of AUM. We have 4 branches, including our head office in Bangalore. We operate from Chennai, Hyderabad, and Mumbai as well. It's been more than 18 years since we have been in this financial services sector, handholding our clients through their financial journey. So to brief you about the quick timelines that we have achieved our key milestones, we started in 2003, and Right Horizons was founded by Mr. Anil Rego. In 2007, we slowly expanded to Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. In 2012, we acquired our SEBI advisory license and SEBI PMS license. In 2016, we achieved the key milestone of managing more than 1,000 crores of AUM and 350 plus crores of PMS. PMS is portfolio management services. In 2019, we started a family office with more than 15 accounts, which were more than 10 crores in AUA. So that is a family office segment. And in 2020, we started venturing into international funds, as in advising and on the international markets. From 2021, we have started our journey towards transformation and building new business models. And here we are today, touching lives and connecting with you guys and helping you achieve, plan your paths to financial freedom. So what's the agenda of today's topic? So the title says plan your financial freedom this Independence Day. So first and foremost, we will look at what is financial planning. What are the challenges or myths we come across when we think of financial planning, or when we think of achieving this stage in our life? It looks kind of impossible or too far off from reality. So what are those challenges and how to overcome them? And make it clear, set out clear paths, clear out our doubts, clear out our myths, and start the journey. And then finally look at what is the ideal path as per financial planning framework. What is that ideal path to achieve financial freedom? So before we begin, first and foremost, I would like to ask you all, what does financial freedom mean to you in your own words? When you think of financial freedom, what is it that comes to your mind? You can maybe give me your responses in your chat boxes quickly. Just anything that comes to your mind once you think of financial freedom. Freedom to whatever and whenever you want without bound of time. Correct. That is one of the ways. So, okay. So let me get started. So what is financial freedom? Firstly, it is different for each and every individual, for each and every family. We've got one more response here. When you don't have to think of money for your daily routine. Exactly. Okay, chat. Yeah, maybe the Q&A section is open. That is why the chat is disabled. But in the backend, Sanjay, if you can check if you can enable the chat. Thank you. Yeah. So it is different for different people. When we think of financial freedom, we come across so many options, right? So some may say that I want to live a debt-free life. So I want to pay off all my loans and liabilities, and I don't want any such burden on my head. Paying EMIs month on month is becoming stress for me. I want to be debt-free. I pay off all my loans, and that is when I have achieved my financial freedom. And some other person or some other might say, I want to achieve all the goals. So you might have children's education, you might have a goal of building a home, or buying a property, or buying a car, or anything. You could have a few goals in your mind. So once you achieve all that, or once a person achieves all that, so he or she might think that, yeah, I have achieved my financial freedom. To some others, it may also mean to have a peaceful retirement. Peaceful retirement, they might desire that they want an enhanced lifestyle when they retire. They want to have a certain kind of setup when they retire, where they can spend their time freely, entirely for themselves. So it could be retiring in having a retirement home in Switzerland, or I want to just go to a hill station, build a cottage there and settle down. It could be anything of that kind. So it is different for everyone. But from a financial planning perspective, from a financial planning framework, what does it mean, and what are the stages in financial freedom? So, firstly, there are three stages basically. There's financial independence stage, financial security stage, and then comes the financial freedom stage. So, what is financial independence is when a passive income covers your current lifestyle, covers your current basic needs. That is when you have achieved your financial independence. What is financial security? When the passive income covers your basic living expenses, as in your basic goods. So that is when your financial security stage has achieved. And then comes the stage of financial freedom, where your passive income covers your ideal lifestyle. What is your ideal lifestyle? Your ideal lifestyle is the one which is not your current lifestyle, but a lifestyle that you want to aspire or enhance it to a next level. So that is what in the back of your mind you must be thinking, I want to have a certain lifestyle. So maybe once you achieve your goals and current lifestyle, and you're looking forward to enhancing your lifestyle, and when the passive income is covering all of that, so that will give you a sense of financial freedom. So mainly what it is saying is, passive income, when the passive income exceeds your expenses, that is when your passive income is covering everything, it is taking care of everything, and over and above that you also have a surplus at the end of it. So this allows you the freedom to achieve your financial and achieve your ideal life, and where working becomes a choice for you. You are not working in order to earn a living out of it. That is a sense of financial freedom when we talk from a financial uh, planning perspective. So now you might come and ask me, what is passive income? Passive income is something which just comes subconsciously without having to make a conscious effort to have that income. In short, passive income is something which doesn't require you to work for that to earn that amount of money. What are the examples of passive income? It could be anything ranging from dividend income, interest income, or rental income, or any such product which is giving you a pension, like a flow over the years. So it could be anything. So passive income. So over the period of time, when we talk about financial freedom, at the back of mind, we must be thinking that I want to retire, or I want to stop working by 45 or 50 or 55. It could be any age as per your convenience. So, what does it literally means is, by 45 or 50 or 55, you have to make arrangements for these passive incomes which can take care of the basic needs and goals without you having to worry about working and earning. So that is a kind of passive income you have to arrange over the earning years, so that after that point of time, suppose at 50 you have achieved that stage where that there's passive income coming in, you don't have to really work for for the sake of it. So that is when it becomes a choice for you. So if you like to just be engaged in a job, do it. Or if you just want to sit back and relax because passive income is taking care of it, so be it. So that becomes a choice. So when we say retiring at 45 or 50, it doesn't literally mean stopping work, but achieving this financial freedom stage by that time, so that working becomes a choice for you. Isn't that a wonderful stage to be, tension free and risk free, and you are really, whatever you have slogged for all these years for savings, you are achieving your desired lifestyle where you can peacefully achieve and live that life, they live that ideal life. So that is what is financial freedom. And today we are going to look at the ifs and buts and how of financial freedom. Okay, so that was the basic idea. Now taking it a step to a next step. So in today's generation, we see that a lot of people also talk of financial freedom in terms of the power not to feel constrained by your current job, or to find a job that you love or aspire, that you really love doing. So most of the people, some of my clients, they don't like this regular jobs. They just doing it because they have a responsibility back home. They have dependent parents, kids, the kids education and all, so they want to ensure that this regular stream of income is not disturbed, because they are not in a situation to afford that, um, uh, what do you say, that friction in the uh, stream of income, basically. Okay, so when they talk of financial freedom, they say that I want to have this freedom where I don't feel constrained to work in this environment unwillingly just to earn. I don't want to do that. So that is one. Another one is the power, financial freedom is the power to switch positions or even careers without having to worry of not being able to afford it. So even people think of switching their careers. They want to take up something that they really love to do. It could be photography, it could be something to do with sports, it could be something to do with painting, singing. They want to try a hand at making a movie or something like that, which they really love or want to do from the childhood, but because of circumstances or anything, I'm not sure what compelled them to take the job, but somehow they have landed up in in this situation and they want to come out of it. So that is when they think of financial freedom in those terms. So maybe this graph tries to briefly explain, if you are someone who is thinking in those terms, what it really means. So to understand this graph much more clearly, the answer to this question will help you. Why saving money would help you find a career that you love. By career, not necessarily the job. I mean, career means doing what you love, basically. Okay. So on the x-axis, we have the savings required, or the savings potential. You can put it that way. On the y-axis, you have the level of freedom to choose your career. Okay, and this side of the graph is the negative side, where you don't have where you're not able to do much of a savings. On this side, your savings are increasing. Okay, on this side, you don't have the freedom to choose your career. You just have to do what you have in hand. On this side of the graph, you have a lot. As you move up, you have a lot of freedom to make changes to your career, shift your jobs, do what you like. So when we are in this zone where we are not able to save, what is it that is making you not able to save? Is where a person is having a lot of debt. The focus shifts from saving for anything else, rather than the focus is more on servicing this debt. Uh, Trying hard to just close off these loans and liabilities, and that is when the focus is more on that part, and the savings takes a backseat there, where you're not able to do, or there is no thought of creating any savings there. Slowly, there's this stage where there is some level of savings happening, not much, but some level, something better than nothing kind of situation. But there is a little career freedom, in the sense you're looking to change for a better opportunity. So that is when you start. That is when you're giving paycheck to paycheck, basically. But there is little savings happening. But what happens when you're not in these two zones, and when your savings potential is increasing on this graph? So that is when where you are living a stress-free life, because your bills are taken care, your responsibilities are taken care. As you move up this graph, as you have built a safety net or a corpus at the back end to take care of everything that needs to be taken care, then you have this freedom to achieve your uh, uh, change your careers, or to do what you love or aspire. That is when the career freedom comes into the picture. So what I'm trying to say here is, basically it's all related to money. So as you take away the responsibility on your shoulders and shift that to the money and make your money work for you, that is when you achieve the sense of financial freedom, and you also get the freedom to make your career moves, or take make those adventurous decisions that you always wanted to do. So these are some of the examples of what financial freedom could mean to different kinds of people. So now we're looking at what are those challenges or which are hampering our decisions or which are pulling us away from the path to financial freedom? So first and foremost is being heavy loaded with lots of loans and liabilities. You're overburdened, a person is overburdened with loans and liabilities. So here I would like to introduce you all to the concept of good debts and bad debts. So what are good debts? Good debts are typically the loans like home loan or education loan. Okay, what happens? What is a good loan? Is basically a loan which is helping you, which is supporting you to create an asset for yourself, which is creating value for you. So those are the debts which are loans which are good and which you can take help of. So anybody would want to have a house of their own. So anybody in anybody's career after 8 years, 10 years down the career, they want to have a home of their own. So that is totally acceptable and required also. So why? Because it gives you your own home, gives you a tension-free life. You don't have to think about paying rent, shifting homes. There's a lot of uncertainty related when you're on rent, and it gives you a sense of emotional connect and feeling of satisfaction also. So that is one. And education loan, why did I say that education loan is, a good loan? Because you're enhancing your capabilities, you're enhancing your skills, which is your lifetime asset for you. So spending or involving yourself, helping yourself with the education loan is not a bad idea. These are good loans which are creating an asset for you. What are the bad loans? Bad loans are examples like personal loans, credit cards, using too much of credit cards. And nowadays we have this easy money kind of things, the EBIX cash or cred or anything that, of course, they are what do you say, more convenient way of having the money that you don't have and you want to do something in the short run. But in the long run, these are the things which will overburden you and shift your focus on servicing these loans rather than looking at savings and what you should ideally be doing for yourself and for the family. So let me give you a small example here. I have this younger client who is in the age range of, he's in his late 20s basically. So every year, what he's been doing before coming to us was like he used to take personal loans and go on holidays to Switzerland. He went to Ladakh also. He had a personal loan. So he has overburdened himself with a lot of loans for his, for his recreation activities. So that is a bad idea. So what we are saying is, we're not saying compromise on your aspirations. Yes, everybody wants to go for holidaying, vacationing. Everybody wants to see the world and all of that. But what we are saying is, you plan for it out of your savings. Don't depend on a loan to go for a vacation like that. So make a bucket your goals systematically, where you're creating one goal also specifically for vacation or buying a car or anything like that. Keep on saving, have a time frame in mind that after 3 years I'm going to go on this vacation, Europe tour or something, and this is what I want to have, 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs at that point of time. Let me start saving for it in the next 3 years. So if you do it that way, you are building your own purpose within your savings and using that for your vacation. So that was a brief example. So what we are trying to see here is, avoid getting into too much of debt, which will literally hamper your focus on achieving the financial freedom. Next is poor risk management. So what is risk? First of all, risk is, what is it that what risk do you face for your health, for your life? What is the risk that your family is facing because of, I mean, if something happens to the breadwinner of the family? So we are talking of those risks here. So poor risk management is when a person or the family is not having adequate tools which can take care of contingencies or emergencies. Life is so uncertain, anything can happen at any point of time. So there's this example of a family basically. So it's also a live example. We had a client. So he was a cycling enthusiast. So every morning, 35 years old, wife and son are there. He went out for cycling one morning and unfortunately met with an accident, and he lost his life. So he did not have a term cover at that point of time. So his wife and kid are left with no insurance cover other than what came from the EPF and other stuff. So what we are saying is, it might look that spending for a life insurance or a health insurance might look like a burden on your expenses, because every year you're paying the premium, but you don't say that, okay, nothing is coming back to me, why should I do it, rather than I put it into savings. No, that is a bad idea actually. So you should have proper risk management tools for yourself and for your family, especially life insurance and health insurance, so that in case of emergencies, if God forbid, if something happens which is very uncertain, which is unwarranted, things are there to protect you and your loved ones in those situations. Okay, just like we have car insurance, scooter insurance. Yes, we are spending there, but these are all tools which can help you protect your savings, protect your family. What happens if you don't have a health insurance? So, suppose there is an hospitalization and you don't have a health insurance. Okay, then you will have what will you do? Ideal situation, you will take it from your savings, right? Whatever you, let's say you have saved something for your kids education or some other goal, you will take it out from there, and then that goal is hampered. So everything gets disturbed when you are not properly managing your risks in life. So when we are talking about health insurance and life insurance, I want to also tell you that don't depend on company or corporate insurances alone for covering these kind of risks. Why? Because these risks, these tools, the company provided health insurance and life insurance are basically group insurances, and they cease to exist once you have put down your papers, or when you have switched, when in your notice period, when you're in between jobs, these don't exist. So what you have to do is, for life insurance, let's say you have some cover from your employer, you should also have a similar amount, or at least a 75% of that amount also individually. Same with health insurance also. Let's say your corporate cover is of 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, and you feel that that is sufficient for me and my family for now. Yes, that is sufficient as long as you are engaged with the company. But apart from that, you should also have a basic health insurance of your own, so that if there is a situation where that cover is not there, you can top this up immediately, and this will continue to exist. If something happens during those times when you're in between jobs, or when there is a job loss or any such situation, your individual health insurance is always there to protect you, and you're not left with dipping into your other savings for hospitalization expenses. And let me tell you, hospital expenses are huge these days, so it's always better to have these tools handy. Even though it's an expense, it is a must have. Next, what is the other challenge to financial freedom is overspending or lack of a budget. When we were kids, our parents always had budget, and they used to live strictly within that budget. But this slowly the times are changing, and we do not have, most of us do not have a proper budget. Some people have a budget, but they follow strictly and regularly. So what I'm saying is, we should have a disciplined approach to our finances. We should think before taking up a certain lifestyle, whether that is sustainable for me over the longer period of time. Will I be able to sustain this lifestyle or this level of spending if something happens in between? If there is a job loss, if there is an accident, if there is a disability where I'm, for 3 months, 6 months, I'm not in a situation to go for work or anything like that. So have a budget, have a plan, choose your lifestyle wisely. By budgeting, what happens also is you are making way for savings also, which is very, very important when you have lot important goals in life, especially retirement, children's education. You cannot just compromise on both of these, retirement and children's education. So have a proper budget and stick to your budget. Poor savings habit. Yes, you might be feeling that you are doing savings, but is that saving proper or as required? Is it taking care of all your needs? So you should do a proper calculation and engage, have a disciplined savings habits. uh, let's say, for example, we have somebody who's just too easygoing to do some SIPs or anything like that, RD, or it could be EPF. So the amount is just sitting there in the savings bank account, which is of no use to him. It is not giving inflation beating returns, his goals are not taken care. There is no focus basically. He or she must be thinking that I'm not using for my savings bank account. That means I'm saving it. No, savings also means put whatever is saved, you put it in the right instrument or a right avenue, which is earning further, which is growing further, rather than keeping it there and helping the other channels use your money for their benefit, right? So choose your saving habits wisely. Unclear financial goals. So when we are thinking of goals, we should also be clear, like uh, what is the time frame we have in hand? What is the amount that we would need for the goal? There should be a proper calculation, inflation adjusted. What is the amount that I will need? Planning anything less will cause you again stress in that situation. Anything more, it's like a bonus. Anything you on the higher side will always help you, will give you a buffer, whether you use it or not, that amount will always be there. So have clear financial goals. Don't just overcrowd yourself with too many goals at one time. Pick one at a time, one step at a time, because then it should also be realistic also. Just having a list of 10 goals will not serve the purpose. You should have realistic goals, achievable goals, clarity basically I'm talking about. Another thing is easygoing attitude. Oh, retirement is too far away. Why am I thinking about it? I have a lot of time. Let me do it some other time. Some other time. Just this easygoing attitude will not help you achieve the financial freedom. The only sentence is now. Just do it right now, right away. Start saving from the first paycheck. Start organizing your finances immediately. Having a disciplined approach, having everything organized in a proper way, having the right tools, having the right instruments, having the right avenues, what is required in your entire financial, health is very important. Unorganized finances, like I said, having scattered all our investments, this and that, everything is in a scattered way. So that also doesn't help us achieve financial freedom. We don't have, because we don't get a vision of only where we are heading, why we are having this. For example, let's say there are so many FDs across different banks. In one bank, you have two FDs, another bank, three FDs, and you have some ULIPs, and you're just paying the premiums. You don't know what the policy is or what that product is, why that product is also even there in your portfolio. So all those are examples of unorganized finances. First main thing is to organize, consolidate, do what is that required portion in each of these buckets that I'm supposed to have. From a financial planning perspective, having FDs is not, we are not saying it's a bad idea. What we are saying is keep an FD and amount in the savings bank account only for the amount of emergency fund that you will need. Because FDs anyway, they're not giving a good interest rate right now, and the interests are taxable. So that will not give you inflation beating returns. So overloading in FDs is not going to help you achieve your goals faster. So when you're looking at covering your goals fast so that you can achieve your financial freedom, you need to accelerate on every aspect. You need to accelerate on your savings. You need to pump up your savings every year, step up your savings, and then it should also be aggressive enough looking at the time frame. So all of those we have to organize ourselves in a much streamlined way. Over concentration in one asset class. This is also one of the very, very important challenges or which restrict our growth to financial freedom. So in the Indian context, we are very much fascinated or attached towards real estate uh, and FDs and traditional insurance policies and gold also. We are just over accumulating, thinking that over concentrating that these will ensure capital protection, growth, and these are always there. But what happens is they have their own challenges. So having a little portion, a little allocation to these asset classes is good, but not overdoing it because they have their challenges of their own. For example, real estate. So let's say you have anybody has invested in a real estate property, thinking that after 10 years, when my son or daughter is going to go for graduation, I'm going to sell this property and use that money for their education. So what happens is over a period of time, that property could deteriorate. If it is a flat, right, it's a depreciating asset. It might lose its value. The market price might reduce. In the real estate market, anything could happen. You might not find a buyer, and situations like COVID have given good lessons in these aspects. Suddenly people started moving to their natives, they didn't return, then there was no rental income also coming from these properties, there's no buyer for these properties. So a lot of such issues have come up during this time. So this is one of case, but yes, that's a possibility, right? So over concentration or overdoing in one asset class is always not good. Do it wisely as per a scientific asset allocation with the help of a professional who will help you understand how much of your portfolio can be in which asset class and to what extent you are ready to take that kind of a risk. Last one is the fear. The fear could be related to uh, the fear. Why does the fear come? The fear comes when you are not covered your risk management. That could be one. Another fear could come because of markets, uh, right? So fear of markets, the valuations. Every day you see the Sensex goes up, goes down. You think that you cannot handle this up and down in the short run. But you should not. You should come out of this fear. Why? Because when you have clear financial goals, you know the time frame of your goal. So till that time frame, you don't have to look every day into the market and think that your investments are not doing good. On one day they're doing good, they're not doing good. You don't have to do that. When the goal is approachable, when you are planning to pull out of that asset class, which is market linked or something, only then you're realizing your benefits out of that product. So have a long term perspective in mind. Short term fluctuations are always there. So don't overthink of economic fluctuations, market fluctuations, or to come out of the fear. Basically, you need to have your basics straight and the foundation, proper foundation for your financial health, risk management, having proper savings habit, disciplined approach, having a proper budget, clear financial goals. Okay, so all these will help you achieve the financial freedom. Some of these steps how you can achieve the financial freedom, I've already talked about it in the last slide. Just to brief it up, I'm going to tell you this pyramid goes from bottom to up. So first things first, we need to have a proper goal setting, have positive mindset. Yes, that I will do it, I am able to do it. It might be difficult, it might be looking difficult now, but let me get started in whatever simple way I'm able to do it. But let me get started in a disciplined way. Manage your cash flows efficiently. Look what is coming in, look what is going out, where is your money going out. Are you is it growing? Is it adding any value over the period of time? So look at those concepts. Next, estate plans. Have a will in place. Anything, risk management, like I said, have insurances, emergency funds in place. Having an emergency fund over and above the health insurance and life insurance is a must, because whatever is not covered under the insurances, your emergency fund can take care of that. So from a financial perspective, we suggest having at least 3 to 4 months of expenses, at least. It could go up to 6 to 8 months also, as per your comfort level, but at least 3 to 4 months of expenses should be set aside as an emergency fund. You can choose either to keep it in a flexi FD, or a flexi FD, or just leave it in the savings bank account, or choose a liquid mutual fund to have that emergency fund, something which is very very liquid and which comes to you easily without having to run around doing documentation. Third important thing is paying off your bad debts. First of all, don't get into the bad debts. In case you have already, then first pay it off, because a lot of the interest rates are high, and it's not serving your purpose basically. You must have used it in case of emergency, but now your focus should be to pay it off and come out of it. Invest for passive income. Secure your retirement basically. So there are a lot of tools which come in handy to create this passive income for you. Like there could be some guaranteed income option. There could be arrangement within the mutual fund, which is called the SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. Over the earnings years, let's say 5 years, 10 years, you accumulate in some group of funds, and then you can look at withdrawing it tax efficiently and return efficiently also during your distribution phase. Handle your wealth. Basically, you need to step up your savings every year. If let's say, for example, if you're doing an SIP of 10,000 per month, this year let the 10,000 go. Next year you step it up, make it 15,000. So accelerate every year or at least once in 2 years, so that you are making your money to work for you. Stepping it up also ensures silent accumulation of wealth, which is taking care of all your goals, and that is how you can overcome these challenges. So, the broadly, what we are saying here is to have an organized and disciplined approach to your finances. So, now when we are talking about defining goals, having proper goals, so how to define a goal? So, goals should be smart. What do we mean by smart goals? Smart goals should be specific, they should be measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Just saying that I want to go to Paris, that is not a goal. Then you need to define it. When do you want to go? How much expense can you expect if you want to go after 2 years? What is that expense level that you're looking at? If I'm looking at that kind of an expense, will I be able to save for it from now? Okay, be very realistic. Don't overshoot your goal expenses also, because then that will create unnecessary stress on you. That, oh my God, I'm not able to do this. It's looking too big. This purpose is looking too big and unachievable. Don't do that. So have clear, smart goals. Also look what is the time frame that you can spend for achieving that goal. What is the time frame? So time frame will also give you option and flexibility to choose the right kind of products and instruments for that particular goal. These are some of the basic goals that every one of us have. It could be different for some, but these are some common ones that we come across. So the basic thing that we need to start towards our financial freedom journey is to have a good financial plan. Now, what is a financial plan? Most of us get confused with a financial plan and an investment plan. For most of us, financial plan means an investment plan. It is not so. A financial plan is different and an investment plan is different. What happens in a financial plan is the advisor takes all your details, your incomes, your expenses, your EMIs, what is the outstanding loan amount, what assets you have already, what are your resources already, what is the rental income you're getting, what are the loans and liabilities that you have, what is your net worth, and then what are your goals. Okay, with the incomes, expenses, the advisor is trying to assess what is the savings potential maximum that we can use for achieving our goals. What are the assets that we have in hand, freely available assets, which can be used and mapped to the goals? What are the goal amounts that we are looking at? Are our assets enough to cover those goals, or is there anything more that can be done with the savings that is there in hand? And how to achieve that? What is the path? How many years we have? What asset class to choose? Which mutual fund, and all of that. Okay, so and if there is too much of loan, how to organize it in a better way? How to, there could be an arrangement within the financial plan to pay off the loan regularly, partial payments, so that the debt management is taken care. You're coming out of debt slowly, and you're focusing on other things, other important things. So that is a financial plan. Then comes the investment plan. Once we have the clarity of where we stand today, this financial plan will help you understand where you stand today in terms of your overall financial health. What assets I have, what liabilities I have, what my focus should be, what is the goals that I should be looking at, and what is the time frame I have. So all of this gets cleared in a financial plan. Once you have the financial plan in hand, then comes the investment plan. Okay, these are my assets. Should I be making any changes to my assets? Am I holding too many shares? Is this not required? Should I diversify it into something else? Do I hold too many real estate, which is as per the financial planning thumb rules? Is it allowed? Is it acceptable or not acceptable limit? So what are those changes that I have to make in my financial plan? Then comes the investment plan, where your advisor is helping you to organize it or move from here to there, do those realignments in your entire portfolio. So that is a financial plan. Another important part of a good financial plan is a plan that prepares you for the worst situation. A conservative financial plan will always help you understand where you stand in the worst of the worst cases. Okay, if your portfolio is not performing with an 8% return or 7% return on my portfolio, where do I stand? Will I be able to achieve? Are my savings capable enough to take care of those goals even if the markets are down? So that is a good financial plan, which is planning for the worst case scenario. In this worst case scenario, it is also helping you to understand, are you covered properly in terms of risk management? What is it that additionally you need to have to cover your risks? Have you planned your contingencies properly? Like I was saying, emergency fund or a health fund for your parents who are not covered under insurance policies, health insurance policies, and it is difficult because of their age. It is difficult to get a health policy for them. In those kind of situations, are you having a separate set of funds for them in case they're dependent on you, and in case you should be pitching in to lend a supporting hand in that situation? Then, what is goal-based investing? Just investing, it's like shooting in the dark. Once you make a have a framework of goal-based investing, things become much sorted and clear, and it is much more organized and disciplined. So that is a good financial plan. So when you're talking about achieving financial freedom, this is the foundation, this is the starting point for you to start your journey towards financial freedom. Now, when we're talking about savings, and investing, you should understand as a planner, as an investor, you should understand the power of compounding. Why we say that now is the time, start early as possible. This is exactly why we are saying, the earlier the better. You are giving the power of compounding, you're making your money work for you. There is an example of Mr. Saxena and Gupta. Mr. Saxena starts investing or saving at the age of 35 years, and Mr. Gupta starts at 25 years. He starts very early, he starts 10 years late. What happens? Because he has started early, he needs to save lesser. Okay. Sanjay, somebody has raised the hand. Pratana Surya Kiran. So, just let me check. Is there any question, Sanjay?
No, ma'am, we will be taking it once we conclude the presentation.
At the end, is it? Okay, fine. Okay, so yeah. So because he has started early, he needs to save a lesser amount because he has a longer time frame ahead of him. Because Mr. Saxena has started late, he needs to accelerate now. He needs to do much more savings. 5,000 is what Gupta is doing at the same time. Because he started late, he has to start with 15,000. He has 35 years for investments, and he has 25 years. So what happens at the end of the time frame? Mr. Gupta has been able to achieve 5.7 crores with his 5,000 monthly SIP or monthly savings, and Mr. Saxena has been able to achieve 4.13 crore. So power of compounding is nothing but the more time you give to your investments, the better it is. They earn more. Your money earns more in the longer run. So this video maybe basically would help you understand better. Let's play this video.
If you want to go around the earth and start with 100 meters on the first day and double the distance every day, how long do you think it will take? 1 year? 10 years? Let's find out. Within 19 days, you would have covered 39,321 kilometers, while the equatorial circumference of Earth is about 40,075 kilometers. You would have traveled around the world in less than 20 days. But what if you stopped after 10 days? You would have hardly covered a little less than 77 kilometers. This is the power of compounding. Power of compounding can help you to create a great wealth as well. How to leverage the power of compounding for maximum benefit? Start early and invest regularly. Nisha invests rupees 5,000 every month since the age of 25, while Nilesh invests rupees 7,000 every month since the age of 35. By the age of 60, both would have invested 21 lakh rupees. Assuming a return of 12%, Nisha will accumulate 2.75 crore rupees, while Nilesh will get only 1.19 crore rupees, which is 59% lesser than Nisha's wealth. This is why starting early is important. To create a wealth, start an SIP in equity mutual fund and remember, to avail the power of compounding, staying invested for long term is the key. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Yeah. So basically, we have taken an example of equity mutual fund here, but any other instrument or any other avenue where you can, start as soon as possible, as early as possible, is always a good idea. Then many might ask, what is the ideal way to save? The best example is save first, spend later. Okay. If you think of spending, I'll do the savings after I have taken care of all my, spendings, EMIs. Of course, paying EMIs is or bills is the first priority. But yes, after that, the spending also comes into the picture. And some people think of saving after, let me see, end of the month. If there is anything remaining, then I will save that. So that is a very unorganized or not a disciplined way of looking at it. So what you can do is automate your savings as soon as the salary hits your account. Automate the savings every month. That set aside a portion of your salary, which gets automatically invested somewhere. So that helps you in the silent accumulation at the back, even without doing a conscious effort. So that's the ideal way of saving. So when we say talk about savings, we also need to be mindful about having good patience with our savings and investments. So the story of this Chinese bamboo in relation to an SIP would help you understand better if you're looking at market-related investments.
Chinese bamboo is the world's tallest grass, which goes up to as high as 80 to 90 feet in a little over 5 years. When you sow the seed and start watering and nurturing it daily, you don't see it growing for 5 years. It would be frustrating, isn't it? But wait, miracle happens after 5 years. It grows from 0 to 80 feet in less than 90 days. Similarly, growing well through SIP also requires a lot of patience. Had you started an SIP of rupees 10,000 in September 2010 in large cap fund, the value of your total investment of 3.6 lakh rupees would have been 3.57 lakh rupees after 3 years. Had you stopped an SIP, this temporary loss would have been permanent loss. But had you continued an SIP at the end of the 4th year, your value of total investment of 4.8 lakh rupees would have been 6.95 lakh rupees. And if your SIP still continues till March 2019, the value of total investment of rupees 10.3 lakhs would have been 17.38 lakh rupees. Remember, correction is temporary, growth is permanent. So continue your SIP for long term to create wealth. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Yeah. So basically, what we're trying to say here is most people, what they do once they see that the markets are down, markets are falling, they stop their SIPs. So that's not the right way to do it, because we are at that point of time when markets are down, we are getting the same investments at a lesser price, at a bargain, which is a good thing to add in the portfolio. We suggest the other way around. Actually, when you see that the markets are down, you should accelerate and add more. Let the SIPs go. In addition, if you have something surplus, add that to your portfolio. So that gives you additional advantage, because those good quality investments that are already sitting in your portfolio have the capability of growing when the markets start to turn around and when the market starts to take off. So, and have patience with the portfolio. The short-term fluctuations are always there, but in the longer run, the economy will improve, the markets will improve, and that is why having a time frame, a goal-based investing is important. So when you know that I don't need this money for the next 5 years, then you leave it to that and help the portfolio grow. Now, when we talk about savings and investments, we should also be mindful about the asset allocation. That is how to manage your investment risk and return. So this graph is just an example to show what are the investment avenues we have in India, and what is the risk return trade-off. So at the lowest corner, we have PPF, NSE, traditional insurance, and infrastructure bonds, which are very low risk and low return. As you move up, where the risks are higher, the returns are also higher. So this having a proper asset allocation or a mix of all these assets, which can balance the risks and returns, will help you have a well-designed and well-managed portfolio, which can take advantage of the market's upside also and the downside also. Having these also in the portfolio is very important, because when the markets are not doing good, these are very, very stable investments which will protect your capital as well as ensure a stable growth rate. So having a proper scientific asset allocation is very important at any point of time. So when we talk about asset allocation, we are also talking about diversification. So this video briefly explains how do we look at diversification. What is the lesson?
In a multilingual country like India, cricket is a common language 1.3 billion people speak. But do you know, this most revered sport in India has many similarities with investments. Let us have a look. Can you imagine a team of only batsmen? Never, right? We need a perfect blend of batsmen, bowlers, and fielders to win the match. Similarly, to succeed in the game of investment, diversification is the only winning strategy. Just like a balanced team, we need a balanced portfolio to give us better returns. We can't hit the boundary on every delivery. Singles are just as important as boundaries. Similarly, we should invest in debt and equity. Equity provides us high returns when the market is good, and debt provides us consistent returns when the market is tight. Interesting, isn't it? Based on time, there are 3 different formats of cricket, and we select players based on their track record for each format. Similarly, we have different investment horizons, whether short or long term. We must select funds according to our goals only. Lastly, just like a captain is necessary to lead the team, similarly, we should have a professional to lead and guide us throughout the game to ensure the suitability of products we buy. So, we hope you will play this game of investment pretty well now and win the World Cup of your dreams. For more information, kindly contact. Mutual fund investments are
Okay, so what we're trying to say basically is there are a lot of products, a lot of mutual funds. Just take an example of mutual fund. There are n number of mutual funds, so we don't know which one fits well for our idea or for our goal, right? So we should have a proper mix, properly diversified into small cap, medium, mid cap, and large cap. So what is that ultimate mix? What are the debt asset classes that we should be having in the portfolio? Is my portfolio able to manage my risk as well? So all that has to be properly managed. So now coming to the end of the section, let's look at what is the path of financial freedom. We have briefly touched upon all of these aspects in our webinar till now. So first and foremost, set definite goals, have proper goals definitions, educate yourself, spend some time understanding financial concepts, financial terminologies, understand what are the products available to me, how each one of them on a broader level, not too deep. So educate yourself with whatever you have in your portfolio or other things that you might have. So automate savings. That is the one thing I said. Automating savings ensures half the work done. There's a saying in English, a game well begin is half done. So like that, once you automate it, it is taken care. You don't have to do it consciously and sometimes you forget or something comes up, then that takes priority. So all of that is, cleared off, and your savings are automated. Invest for the future. Have a long-term perspective in mind rather than making short-term profits and things like that, which will give a touch of speculation activities. So if you have goals in mind, so it should be for the long term and have a goal-based investing. Plan for retirement, because that is the one thing which will help you achieve your financial freedom. If your retirement is secured, you're not depending on anybody, and you can look at what other things you aspire to do. So these are some of the pointers you can quickly run through. You set life goals, have an emergency fund, stay insured, make and stick to monthly budgets, stay away from bad debts, automate your savings, start now. Now is the time. Have a good asset allocation. Do not panic with the short-term market volatilities. Step up savings every year. Monitor your assets. So that is how you can achieve your path to financial freedom, basically bringing a disciplined approach. Now, what are the different stages of wealth creation? So survival stage is where there is no savings, you are heavy on debt, no savings happening. I explained on the third slide the graph. Okay, so that relates to this. Then there is stability, where you're repaying your loans and bills, and slowly the monthly savings have started coming, but it is still less. Then when you're looking at alternatives, you're looking at additional loan repayments, saving for a longer term, and you're getting a feeling of, yeah, I can do much more, but much more than this, much better than this. That is when you're in the alternative stages of wealth creation, where you're looking for other alternatives. Financially fit is a stage when you have repaid all your debts, your retirement planning is taken care, you have adequate insurance, your risks are managed, you're within the framework of financial planning. Competence is an edge that comes when you are on track with your entire financial plan, and you're leveraging your financial knowledge wisely, and you're keep playing on your front foot, where you're taking some mainstream investments. And then the last stage is the independent stage, where you're completely financial independent. You can cover all your goals, everything is taken care, and then you're seeking for more opportunity for growth, as in taking much more risks and venturing into some riskier ideas, where you can play around with that kind of money at that stage of life. So the key takeaways of this session, I hope this has been a meaningful session, and we have touched upon a lot of topics which can help you start your journey to financial freedom. So basically, organize your finances and define your goals. Every rupee you save today, you are buying yourself freedom. Risk management is very important. There is no two ways about it. Diversify your investments into suitable asset classes as per your risk appetite and your time frame. Basically, you are responsible, so you are in charge, and you need to take that step. So here we are running a campaign for this month, as an occasion, on the occasion of our 75 years of independence. We are offering a 75% off on our financial planning services. So what all do we get in the financial planning services is retirement planning. These are some of the examples, but on a broader level, this is what it will create. Tax planning, wealth creation strategies, how to plan for your kids' education, and much more than this. A financial plan is very comprehensive, and we are offering a 75% off. So it's a limited period of just for August. So if you are interested, please contact all these numbers. So what are the services apart from financial planning that Bright Horizons provides is financial advisory, wealth management. We also provide EMS services, NRI investment services, financial education. We conduct these investment awareness programs from time to time. We also dwell into corporate advisory. So that's all for the session today. Thank you all, and hope you have enjoyed the session. And we are open to questions now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We have some questions, so I will read it out. So first question is that I am 50-year-old, and how I can create passive income from dividends etc. to achieve rupees 1 lakh per month inflation adjusted.
Yeah, basically, so you should look at what is it that you need for the next. Let's say we have on an average in India, we take life expectancy to be 85 years. So when you're talking about passive income creation from dividends alone, or whether whether dividends is a part of your income. So you have to look at that. And then for the next 35 years, what is it that, what are the level of expenses you're looking at per month basis? Inflate that every year, and look at what is the corpus that you will need to suffice your expenses. So then, what is the portfolio of stocks that you have from which this dividend income is aimed to, give you that passive income, and what is that amount of expected dividend that you expect from this pool of shares, and is that enough to cover your monthly expenses? So there has to be some calculation behind it, a retirement calculator. So you can do that, yes. And also you need to ensure that there are good quality stocks which are giving very good dividends in the long term, and those are sustainable stocks in the portfolio.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, what is the ideal amount to put aside for emergency fund for a businessman whose income is not stable?
Whose income is
not stable?
Not stable. Yeah. So basically, then you will have to look at your expenses. So what happens is every month expenses. So you would know like what is that expense on a month-on-month basis. And if suppose that business income is also not there, in that case, how you're going to take care of the family's expenses for the next 3 to 6 months till you find another source of, or till you try to bring back your business in form. So basically, you should have at least, if you're a businessman, we suggest, because there is a lot of uncertainty in income, we suggest you have 6 to 8 months of your regular expenses and EMIs set aside as an emergency fund.
Yeah, thank you, madam. The next question is investing in mutual fund of private bank a good idea?
Sorry, Sanjay. Is investing in mutual funds, and is the second
of
part?
Private bank a good idea? Okay, let me read the question once again. Is investing in mutual fund of private bank a good idea?
Mutual fund of private bank. I didn't understand that. So basically, see, in mutual funds, there are different themes actually. So are you talking about the PSU and banking sector fund? If that is so, then that can be a portion of your portfolio. Like I said, we have to be clear on what equity mutual funds we need to have our asset allocation and how much, okay, and debt. So let me give you briefly an idea, like what is the debt equity allocation that you should be looking at. So let's say it is as per your age. Let's say you're a 35-year-old. So 35% of your portfolio should be in debt, and remaining 65% should be in equity. So as you grow older, your debt portion should increase, and your equity allocation should reduce. The higher the age, the lower the equity exposure. That is for a basic, what do you say, ground level, broader level asset allocation. But there could be someone who is able to take some more higher level of risk. Then that depends on the risk appetite. So for you, when you're talking about whether the banking sector mutual fund is good or not, yes, that is good, because banks are doing very well, and they are a stable sector. You can have a small allocation.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is that, can you suggest any one best as per right horizons mid-cap fund for retirement goal 15 years?
Okay, mid-cap fund. There are quite some mid-cap funds. There is Kotak Emerging Fund, which is very good. SBI Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund is good. So instead of depending on one, have a small bucket of 3 to 4 mid-cap funds. Because then again, diversification within the same asset class is taken care.
The next question is, what is the thumb rule to decide on the amount of health insurance for family? In addition, please suggest any reputed and reliable health insurance.
Okay, so what is the health insurance you should have for a family? For a family of husband, wife, and 2 children, we suggest that as a thumb rule, 5 lakhs per person during the COVID time. We used to suggest that. But you can somewhere, for a family of 4, somewhere in the range of at least 10 to 15 lakhs, having a comprehensive, floater policy is good. Anything above 15 lakhs is always good, but that is the at least minimum, basic minimum is what we suggest, 10 to 15 lakhs for a family of 4. If it's a husband and wife, then 10 lakhs is what we suggest. If both are earning, then it is always good to have a higher sum assured, so that you are taking advantage of lower premiums also.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, how much amount you recommend to keep as an emergency fund? How can we park this emergency fund effectively?
Okay, so that is what, like I said, if you are a person with an unstable business income, like for example business, somebody had put a question there. So if it is a situation like that, then having a higher emergency fund is always good. Let's say it is measured with your expense levels. Every month, what is your expense multiplied by 6 or 8 months. So that is the amount you should have as an emergency fund. If the only the if it is a single income family, if only the husband is working and wife is not working, so in that case 6 months is what we recommend. 6 months of expenses should be set aside as emergency fund. If both husband wife are working, they have each other's back. Okay, so if one income is hampered due to some reason, okay, the other person is there who can take care, whose income is there and who is able to take care of manage the expenses. In that case, having 3 to 4 months of emergency fund is good. So this is the amount of emergency fund that you should have. Now, where to put this amount of emergency fund? So you can have a combination of products for this. Basically, the idea of emergency fund is to have access to that amount immediately if something happens. Okay, if something happens to you, some accident or something, your wife should be able to just take. Nowadays Google Pay and everything is there, but again there are certain limits to that. But what I'm trying to say is it should be very handy. So you can use a combination of a flexi FD kind of a thing. Let's say your emergency fund requirement is coming to 10 lakh rupees. Then 5 lakhs you keep in flexi FD kind of a thing. Another 2 lakhs you just leave it in your savings bank account. 2 to 3 lakhs you put it in a liquid mutual fund, so that it is not sitting idle. Also at the same time you have access to these funds also. So these are the 3 avenues that you can look at ideally for managing your emergency fund. So the best way is to scatter them also.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one more question. Is debt is essential for 10 years, 10 plus years goal plan? What we will do if our goal maturity time there is any pandemic like corona or war?
Exactly, that's a very good question actually. So yes, in the corona time there was a situation where the goals came in at that point of time, and because the markets were down, so most of the people were not able to pull out from their equity mutual funds where they had saved for the goals. So ideally, from a financial thumb rule perspective, what happens is, as the goals are approaching, let's say our goal is approaching, our goal is in the 10th year. From the 8th year onwards, we should slowly start diverting from equity asset class to the debt asset class, bringing it back to safer asset classes slowly, chunk by chunk, so that you ensure profit booking. You're booking your profits also, at the same time ensuring your capital protection also for the goal that is coming down. In the safer asset class, we mean either move it to some safe debt asset classes like money market funds or liquid funds. 2 years before your goal, the planning should start slowly start to move small chunks into safer asset classes. That is how you can take care of these situations, these corona kind of situations where you never know where the markets will be. That was the situation, but in the normal time frame also there could be some economic situation like the war situation or anything like that, which will bring about that volatility in your mutual funds. So ideally, your planning should start 1 or 2 years before the goal, where you're moving your funds in the safer place.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let us take two or three more questions, then we can write up. So the
Sure.
question is, any thumb rule on how we can distribute our saving in different asset class?
Thumb rule, like I said, again going by the funda of asset allocation. Okay, so first and foremost, ensure that you have your emergency fund in place. First thing is that. If not, start saving for that also regularly and ensure that a maximum portion goes there so that it is taken care, and then you can focus on other savings. Again, look at debt equity allocation, going by the thumb rule of your age, basically. Whatever is your age, that much portion should be in debt asset class, and the remaining should be in asset equity asset class. So in that, in equity also have proper allocation to large cap, mid cap, and small cap, so that you're not over concentrating in one asset class, and the ups and downs of one category is taken care by the ups and downs of the other category. In debt asset class also, there are two risky debt mutual funds also. So just go by the credit ratings, credit ratings, triple A rated funds. Just you have to do a little bit of research there. There are a lot of websites you can refer to, and just choose wisely. You can have a mix of short-term funds, medium-term funds, floating rate funds. You can have a proper mix in debt asset class also. So within the category, again, you can diversify your investments.
Thank you, ma'am. So let us take one more question, then we can. The
Sure.
question is, how do we calculate the post-retirement corpus?
Okay, so that's very tricky because you will need to do some, you will need to take some help of a calculator, maybe if it is available online, but let me give you a basic idea like how to do it. So let's say you have to imagine that you are going to retire this year. Okay, if you're going to retire this year, then what is your expense from now? In the current situation, what would be your likely expense if you are going to retire today? Take that expense and inflate it to the period of your retirement. Let's say your retirement is 10 years away. So today's expense, you have to inflate it, multiply by the inflation rate, 6 or 7%, and look at what is that expense at the after 10 years, what is that? Then that becomes your yearly expense for the next 30 or 35 years of your retirement. So that is how you can calculate on a broader level. But from a financial planning, because I am an advisor, I'm a financial planner, there is some other calculation that goes behind it. So best is to consult somebody, consult an advisor to arrive at the correct retirement expense calculation, because that is very important. So there we take the help of real rate of return to calculate that purpose. Basically, what is the real rate of return is your investment rate of return minus the inflation rate. So we take the help of that. It's a calculation based thing actually. So, but on a broader level, I hope I have answered that. So roughly, if you want to calculate, that is how you can do it. But if you want more accurate calculations, then take the help of an advisor.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we can take one more question, which is how to choose which investment is better with respect to age. There are ample of investment options available. How to choose wisely?
Yes, again, going by your risk appetite. So, what is the level of risk you are ready to take? It all depends on that. So basically, if you are a high risk taker, please ensure that you have taken care of other aspects, goals, emergency funds, risk management, and everything, and then maybe you can take those risks.